A search for a missing mom and her child. Tomorrow marks 1 week since Brittany Wiley and her 12-year-old son Rodney left home to shop at a couple of stores nearby, and they just vanished here, folks. So now police are posting notices asking you to help find them.
On April 22nd, 37-year-old Brittany Wiley and her 12-year-old son, Rodney Wiley, headed to a local Ross and Food Depot in her mother's red Ford Escape and have not been seen or heard from since. According to Brittany's mother, she informed her that her and her son were heading down the street to run errands and will return shortly. However, that never occurred. Brittany planned to drive to Ross off Highway 278, 2 miles from their home, to shop for an outfit for a church event the next day. Her mother was preparing Sunday dinner for family and asked Brittany to stop on her way back from Ross at the Food Depot a mile from their home to pick up some ingredients she needed. Roughly an hour and a half later, Brittany contacted her mother from the SUV with her son next to her, telling her they were on their way to the grocery store. This was the last time her mother would see or hear from her. She became worried when Brittany and her son failed to return home, prompting her to call and text her phone repeatedly to no avail. After contacting Brittany's friends to find out where they could have gone or who they could have gone to visit, she finally contacted the Covington Police Department to file a missing persons report. Aside from everything, her mother figured she would be home Sunday in time for church or dinner, or at least by Monday morning, so her son could attend school. She said there's no indication Brittany had taken any clothing or other personal items from the home, and nothing to indicate that she packed bags for herself or Rodney. However, it was eventually revealed that Brittany has been going through a difficult divorce from Rodney's father, and that she and Rodney had recently moved out of the home and into her mother's home temporarily. Brittany was last spotted by flock cameras at 6 p.m. traveling south on Turner Lake Road toward the Food Depot, located down the street from her home. An independent investigator who goes by the name of Exploring with the Nug on Facebook revealed the following. Day 2 looking for Brittany and Rodney Wiley in Covington, Georgia. Let me tell you some details about what we found out today and see what you think, because it doesn't make any sense to me. 1. Her car is confirmed pulling into the Food Depot parking lot at 6 p.m., presumably to grocery shop, like she said, but she didn't spend any money there. 2. She called her mother at 7:48 p.m., saying she left Ross and is heading to Food Depot. She also didn't use her card at Ross. 3. The cell phone company apparently can't locate a last known location before her phone died. I thought they could track last known locations through Ping. What are your thoughts on this? Brittany is 5 feet tall, weighs 135 pounds, and has black hair and brown eyes. Her son Rodney is 4'6" tall, weighs 100 pounds, and has black hair and brown eyes.
This was supposed to be their last stop late that afternoon, Saturday, April 22nd. A mom and her son running errands, driving to this supermarket on Highway 278 in Covington, a mile from home. Brittany Wiley even called her mom as she was driving with her 12-year-old son Rodney next to her and said, "We're on our way to the grocery store now."
That was the last time that I had heard from her.
Florence Jones says when they didn't come home, she started calling and texting her daughter, "Where are you?" But Brittany Wiley wasn't picking up, wasn't texting back, and Jones says her daughter is never without her phone. She'd left home with only her phone and her purse, nothing else. After a few hours, Jones, in a panic, filed a missing persons report, and Covington police are now asking for the public's help finding Wiley and her son. The only trace of them, at about 6 p.m. that evening, they disappeared. A flock camera captured part of their red Ford Escape. The location, Turner Lake Road at I-20. The SUV heading toward the supermarket just down the street. Jones says her daughter has never before left home without telling her where she'd be. Now Jones says her daughter is going through a difficult divorce. Did she just want to take a break from everyone, along with her son?
Right now, I just want to feel like my daughter and my grandson are okay, and that maybe emotionally it got to be too much, too heavy, and she just needed to go. Just needed to take off for a little bit. And honestly, I hope that's all it is.
Police are not ruling out any possibility, but they're working around the clock, wanting to make sure Brittany Wiley and her son Rodney are okay, and they're asking anyone who might have seen them to call Covington police.
Brittany's phone hasn't been used or turned on since the day she and her son disappeared. Police were not ready to disclose publicly yet details of their investigation, such as whether they've been able to pull together a timeline of her movements in the hours and days before she and her son disappeared, whether they've accessed her cell phone records, whether evidence can place her at the Ross, the Food Depot, and other specific locations, and whether they've been able to interview yet relatives, friends, and acquaintances who might have information about her and her son that might shed light on what happened to them. The case remains ongoing.